I'm gonna go ahead and call the meeting to order of the June 12th, 2025 Zero Waste Committee meeting for the Ulster County Resource Recovery Agency. Is it working?
It is, yep. This is gonna be Neil when he comes on.
Okay. So I'll take a roll call. Donna Egan present, Jim Gordon.
Here.
And Erica Brown absent. Agency staff, Mark Ryder.
Here.
Tim DeGraff.
Excused.
Angelina Brandt.
She's here.
And Tim Wiedemann, present. Okay, we'll stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Our first segment will be public comment. So any member of the public is welcome to speak. We try to limit it to 2 minutes if possible. Anybody?
And this is the Zero Waste Committee.
This is a Zero Waste.
So public comment related to zero waste.
I am Poppy Cannon Reese. I just want to say we're doing a repair cafe in Ellenville. So that's set up for August 16th, and all of your resources for that were very, very helpful. So
From our last meeting?
there's a website that you can go. I'm in the training with Angelina, so I got it from there.
What was the date again?
August 16th.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Did you call? Yes. I just want to encourage the agency to really focus on finding a facility for the reuse innovation center. I think that the hub and spoke is really valuable. There aren't a lot of municipalities that have 19 locations to collect reusables. But I think the hub is also really important. I know it's expensive, but to really maximize waste diversion and achieve the lofty goals that both the agency and the county and the state have promulgated for good reason, I do think it's important to have that very center that John Wackman envisioned, which includes processing and training, and then and hopefully a C&D component, and then a showroom or a retail area, even if some of the things are given away for free, and some are at a very low cost, but to keep those materials in the resource stream. I'm not sure that just the spokes without the hub, or my understanding is that some of the nonprofits that are already doing this work will be involved. But I still think there has to be a central facility, and I hope that in terms of zero waste, that'll be a high priority.
Anybody else who'd like to speak from the public? Okay.
I want to say one more thing, if I may, about the public, and that is, I heard some really good ideas from, in particular, the Ellenville Wawarsing community. And as those sites are at least temporarily, if not permanently, off the table, I hope that energy and that brain power can be harnessed to support zero waste and maximizing waste diversion.
Great. Thank you. Any other public comment?
Did I make
Okay.
any time? I'm so sorry.
Yes, you can.
I'm Laura Petit, Town of Esopus. I'd like to make some comments. I was watching the environmental committee meeting, And some comments were made about about the zero waste plan being proprietary. That plan was written, and when it was introduced here, there was actually our cover page. I wrote that with Josephine Pagnano. It was brought forward to the legislature, Resolution 265 of 2020. It did not make it through committee. It was decided we would do a working group. And you were on the ROC chair at that time. And then it was rewritten with a lot of input from Tracy Bartels and from Emily Hauser, to turn it more into an implementation plan than just a plan. So I'm not sure why that individual says it's proprietary. It is a county plan that is available along with all of the working documents. I'm sure Amanda Jo would be able to share.
Who said it was proprietary?
That
Just
was-
Well, no, I said it was proprietary, but it's a consultant's plan. I mean, you may have done some of the work,
We did all
but you
of the
paid
work.
$10,000 to a consultant to put it together.
We,
And I think they would argue that any of their work is proprietary.
so he can pull it out.
I don't believe that's true.
I don't believe it is
I don't believe
either.
that's true. New York State
Yeah.
education law kind of dispelled that many years ago.
Yeah, I mean, what was presented, when you did
We
your
buy
was-
that content and then,
It was a draft, it was never completed.
That consultant was provided with all of the information, so he could zhuzh it up and turn it into a pretty plan, and that didn't happen. So I think starting over again, with what we have, including interviews that were very well done with all the municipalities, I think that would give you a really good head start with the right person to zhuzh it a little bit and turn it into a workable program. There were also comments about the RA not being involved. Chair Bartels and I had come in and met. We were told that because there was an interim director, and because there was also a lot of reporting, I believe you may have been in the middle of the DEC reporting, and of course it was the first 3 months of the year with recycling, so it was a difficult time, but no one was left out of the initial process. So, I'm just hoping that I can give you more to move forward with instead of turning it over and making it into someone else's zero waste plan that'll cost $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 and will be a plan that was not, we see how that works. Anybody can write a plan, but you need to involve a substantial amount of the public if you want to write something that's going to work, that's for the public. And I believe that working group did produce a lot of that. So, again, happy to turn over the original documents, the first and second draft. I'm sure Amanda Jo would be able to provide you with access to the folders with all the other research that was done and, maybe go from there. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
any other public comment? No? Okay, so, approval of the agenda for today, everybody can take a look at that. I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda for the June 12th, 2025 zero waste.
You can't move it, I'm gonna
Oh,
move it.
okay, you're gonna move it? Okay, I'll move it, I'll second it, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay. Approval of the minutes from the May 8th, 2025 zero waste committee meeting are attached.
I'll move, I haven't seen anything wrong, so I'll move them for
That
acceptance.
sounds good. And I'll second that, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? None? Nobody abstained. Erica's absent. Communications and announcements, the next Zero Waste Committee meeting is scheduled for, what's our next board meeting?
We have a board meeting on July 10th.
July 10th?
Yeah, we didn't have this in here because it doesn't seem like a lot if the intent is to have more board members here, doesn't necessarily seem like this time works for many. So we wanted to leave this blank and let the committee discuss if there would be a better time. I think
We can push the regular
Board meeting nights
back.
are busy. I would not recommend pushing back regular board meetings, but I don't know that this meeting has to be right before regular.
And, I would wanna see what we're going to do, you know, what the agenda would be, and set a time where we can get as many people based on, you know, what we need to do. So I don't think we necessarily need to schedule a meeting now. Why don't we wait for the regular meeting and see how the rest of the committee feels?
I'm not sure about that.
There isn't the rest of the committee, it's just the two.
Right, I
Just
meant
the two
rest
of us.
I meant the rest of the board.
But,
And the people who are on the committee, like, see if Erica can begin to make these meetings if there's a better time. You know,
well, I think it was a one-off for her. Well, it was a two-off, actually, but, so I, as the chairman, am only able to attend the meetings prior to our regular board meeting. So I can't take another day off of work to come up here for this meeting. So this is, I mean, we could do it after the board meeting if you wanted to. That would be another option that's available to me. But it's gonna have to be adjacent to the board meeting. We're gonna continue on.
You want to schedule the next one for the next?
July 10th at 5:15 is, that's kind of what we decided in the beginning of the year, so.
Do you need an hour?
Sometimes we do. I mean, I don't. As I say, if you want to push the other board meeting back, but I don't.
Would another date work if this was in the southern end of the county? No.
No, I don't even, no. I mean, I could explain why afterwards, but I don't think I need to. This is.
no, we understand it. This is, you have to get here, and it's difficult. We certainly understand that. Well, why don't we schedule it, and then if
We
there's,
can always cancel it or modify it. How
exactly.
about that? Is that
Why don't
fair?
we do
Okay,
that?
so we'll, July 10th at 5:15 will be the next meeting.
Yeah.
Old business, unfinished business? I don't think we have anything on the schedule there. I didn't really, yeah. Had some presentations last month. And new
Neil's
businesses,
asking to
I'm
call in.
kind of foot dragging here a little bit because we have a guest speaker. I don't see him on yet.
I had received an email from him since we've been in this meeting. He says he's having trouble joining the meeting. Can he call in by phone?
do we have that set up?
That's fine.
I mean, I can just call him on my,
I've done that before.
we are live streaming now, so that we're in a different world. I will call him. Hey Neil, this is Mark Ryder. I'm gonna put you on speakerphone.
So I don't know why my computer didn't work.
Okay, so you are here with us now at the Zero Waste Committee.
All right, thank you, Mark, I appreciate it. And I appreciate the entire Zero Waste Committee agreeing to hear my brief comments about the RFP. I found out about the RFP in May, excuse me, when I was at a conference. And I should introduce myself, Neil Seldman. I work for Zero Waste USA. I was surprised by the RFP because I have been writing about you folks, the Resource Recovery Authority, and speaking about it, about the authority, as a real leader in New York State at the county level. And I, in particular, complimented you in my writings and speeches, complimenting the UCRRA for having avoided the very volatile issue of incineration.
Hey.
Also, I've been familiar with your work on
Hey, can I interrupt you?
the effort to look for a landfill, your development of composting, the Innovation Center for Reuse companies, which I find very, very important, because reuse companies can reskill workers in the community that do not have market skills. And I also found out that a zero waste plan is in preparation and that Kingston uses dual stream. All of these things are so positive, which is why my image of your work is so positive. I was surprised that you would be considering two technologies, one pyrolysis slash incineration, and the
Hey,
other
hey, Neil?
dirtiness.
Hey, Neil, can you hear me? Neil?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so I'm Don. I'm the chairman of the Zero Waste Committee, and I'm just, I'm not sure if you're going off topic here, but I do believe you are on the schedule today to talk about completing the Zero Waste implementation plan for UCRRA, and I'm not sure, well,
He just requested to do a presentation,
on,
and so
on the Zero Waste implementation
zero
plan.
waste.
Okay, so you're a little off topic here. If you can just stay on topic related to that presentation of proposal for completing the Zero Waste plan, it would be great.
Yeah, I am not prepared to comment on your zero waste plan. I've looked at it, but I asked Mark and others to present on the RFP. If I'm out of order, I'm out of order, and I'll hang up. But I did expect to talk about the RFP, and I can summarize it in one sentence. The RFP is asking in part for a facility, when in fact a facility is not going to solve your problems. You need a system, and you're on the path waste system, and I think that's what you should consider. So I think the RFP, which identifies pyrolysis and mixed waste processing, is going to take you backwards. I already asked my colleagues who have just completed a thorough analysis of mixed waste processing for another client to forward that report to Mark Ryder for all of your consideration. As far as pyrolysis incineration, the track record of this technology is very clear. It's very expensive, and there are technical and financial failures. And I don't know why a jurisdiction, an agency such as yours, which has such a great track record in moving forward on all kinds of zero waste options, would even consider a centralized facility that incinerates and produces, if successful, produces a fossil fuel, which we don't need.
All right,
And
so
it's very expensive.
this is not,
So
this is off topic, I'm
that's
sorry.
the gist of my comments. If you want to ask questions, the bottom line is I think you guys are leaders and models.
Okay. Hey, Neil, Neil, it's totally off topic, unfortunately. This is the Zero Waste Committee meeting, and
Okay,
so
if you don't want me to present anymore, if you don't want to discuss it, that's not a problem.
I just, you know, you're providing a lot of opinions, and it's not appropriate for
We
the,
can talk at any time, as you know. I'll try to get you the information I mentioned earlier.
okay.
Okay,
Okay,
all
all
right.
right, thank you.
Okay, Donna, he has a lot of information on zero waste.
Which is
So
what we thought
that's
we
what
were,
we
he
asked
was
him
gonna
to speak
present.
about, so I don't know what, I'm not sure what that was all about.
Is he still on?
No, he hung up.
He said he wasn't ready to prepare, to talk about the zero waste study today. He just said that.
Well, that's what we had him, asked him to do a month ago, I think, pretty sure, right?
He asked to present, he sent an email to Jim and I and asked to present on the RFP. I asked him to present on zero waste. I don't know where it makes up, because he works for Zero Waste New York and is an expert
Yeah,
in zero
this
waste.
is, it was off topic, so I'm sorry to, off topic, so.
If I could just quickly explain what the RFP is. So we
Yeah,
have an RFP out right now for diversion and alternative technologies to landfilling and combustible incineration. It is a very broad RFP that is looking at any strategies. So when he talks about mixed use, he's talking about a material recovery facility which uses mechanical separation to, you know, we wouldn't shut down our regular MRF, but if we could have a facility that did more mechanical separation of mixed, mixed solid waste and separated out organics and recovered recyclables that come in already in our MSW, That doesn't stop us from doing other diversionary practices like source-separated composting, source-separated recycling. But the reality is that recycling rates are very low in New York, and we are on average with New York recycling rates. We're a little bit higher with diversion rates because of composting and food waste, but in the 28, 33%, it's not great. There are some communities that do 60 to 70% when they take all diversion in. They have robust reuse programs and more recycling with deconstruction of construction demolition debris as opposed to demolition. So we're working towards source separation, but we are getting proposals in for any solution, which could be also a fully zero waste. There's nothing in the RFP that would stop someone from submitting a proposal for a fully zero waste type system.
Processing.
Yeah, so.
So, Delaware County has composting, MSW, I'm not sure what they would call their technology, but would that be classified as zero waste? I mean, they
No.
have very, very little left with the.
But again, zero waste defines themselves very narrowly, and it's all about source separation. So when you hear me talking about zero waste, I talk about using zero waste principles, not necessarily using, the full zero waste program. I mean, I think we should take a lot of the principles from zero waste. I think that if we could get to zero waste, which is 90% diversion from source separation, we should go for it. But in reality, we may have to look at doing some more mechanical separation of mixed waste.
So mixed waste processing, really, that's not zero waste.
It's not. They don't
I'm
consider
just-
it. The zero waste
People would not
USA,
consider
zero waste
that.
New York
Okay.
do not consider that zero
Okay.
waste. They would prefer you source separate before it comes into
Right.
this. Because there's a certain amount of contamination, so even the organics and other things can't be fully composted as well. I mean, it's not, you can use it for compost, but it's not gonna be the same certification. I don't know that I would put it on food. You could use it on flower beds, that kind of thing.
DOT, yeah.
Parks.
Okay, cool. Sorry, that presentation wasn't what I expected, so.
Okay.
So we have a couple options here. We can continue to talk about zero waste, Jim and I. Jim and I and Mark, or we can take a recess for the regular meeting, which starts in about a half hour.
It's up to the committee. I'm happy to.
And is there anything in particular you want to give us an update that's not appropriate for the rest of the members? I think it would just be Mike's coming in today. The update on composting permit or mattress recycling that you want to offer to this committee as opposed to the regular board?
I mean, I think it's all important for the regular board to hear.
Yeah.
I'll
Sorry.
move to adjourn, adjourn and take a break, let everybody stretch their legs, and you can be in
That's
6:15.
fine. Unusual that we are under time, so. So you made a motion to adjourn. I'll second that.
Okay,
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? No? Nobody abstains? We're adjourned.
Second.